Say hey, Yellow Jacket football fans. Welcome to Locker Room Predictions. I'm here with Calhoun's head football coach, Coach Clay Stevenson. Luke Green is in absentia, but he has sent in our pick list, and we are in week number 4, and we are going to review what has happened so far. Last week, Coach Luke, our head wrestling coach at Calhoun High School, was in first place with 17 out of 19, a good 89%, outstanding percentage. Coach Clay and I got 15 right, 79%. We'll take 80% for the rest of the year, won't we?
That's correct.
Yes, but we tied for second, however you want to look at it. For the season, Coach Clay and Coach Luke are tied at 41 out of 56 for 73%, and I am bringing up the rear at 40 correct at 70%. So here we go.
Tight race.
Yeah, it is a tight race. Yeah, it's good. We have about 7 high school picks, about 8 or 9 college picks, and a couple pro picks, and we will get started right now, starting off with the high school. A team that we are very familiar with, Cedartown, takes on another team that we're very familiar with, Cass, and I just found out last night that Cass lost their quarterback for the season.
Yes, they did. It's awful.
Yeah.
He's a good kid, great player,
Yes.
phenomenal player, can do a little bit of everything, and I think he's out for the year, from what I read. So I expect Cass to come out and play really solid. You know, anytime you lose a leader like that, you kind of rally together and play better than expected. But I still think Cedartown's probably a little bit better, and I think they may get the win.
Yeah, Luke goes along with Cedartown also, and I'm checking to see if he sent me any memos he did on the college team. I'm going to go with Cedartown also. Cedartown, as we look at this game, is number 7 in 4A. They're 5-0 on the season. Cass comes in at 3-2. They have a 2-game losing streak. Cedartown's favored by 10. I think this would be. I don't know when the point spread was announced if they knew that their quarterback was out. Cass's quarterback was out. Cedartown's a good ball team.
Yeah, both of them are good. We saw
Yes.
Cass, and they're obviously they've been our region. That's a huge region matchup as well. So I think
Yes.
it'll be a very close game.
Rome is at Alexander. Rome comes in at number 10 in 5A. They're number 9 in composite. Rome has a 1-2 record. They've had a tough schedule. They're playing Alexander 1-3. Rome, I hope, has got all their players back, recovered from the bus accident after that first game of the season.
Yeah, I think they do. I think Rome wins big here.
Yeah, they're going to win big. They're favored by 35. Luke picks Rome, and I pick the Wolves also. Our next pick is going to be Blessed Trinity at Hebron Christian. This is a big matchup. Blessed Trinity, 3-1 on the season, lost last week 28-14 to Milton, which was a good showing. They're number 6 in the composite rankings. Hebron Christian is 4-0. They're ranked number 2 in what we call the combination 3A to A rankings. They're number 3 in their composite rankings. Blessed Trinity favored by 11, sir.
Yeah, I think Blessed Trinity wins, although Hebron Christian is they got a really good football team. I think we saw them in a scrimmage.
Oh, did you?
But we've played Blessed Trinity the last 4 years, and we know that they're going to be solid. I think Blessed Trinity gets the win.
Yeah, Luke goes with Blessed Trinity. Now I'm going to go with the Titans also. By the way, the Titans is the fastest rising school nickname in the past 10 years in the state of Georgia.
Did not know that.
Yeah, same here. All righty, Northwest Whitfield versus Gilmer. Northwest Whitfield is number 5 in 3A. They're number 5 in the composite rankings. They are 4-0 on the season. Gilmer comes in at 2-2 on the season, and Northwest Whitfield is favored by 12 points. What do you say, Coach? It's going to be a good matchup.
Should be a good game. Gilmer will ground and pound it, and I assume Northwest is still throwing it a lot like they have the last few years. So a very contrasting game or style. It should be a good matchup, and we get both those teams here in a few weeks. So be interested to see how that one turns out.
And Josh Robinson, the coach at Northwest Whitfield, has been singing the praises of his defense. He thinks it's a lot better. So, yeah, I think it's been at least 6 years that Northwest Whitfield has had a 2 or 3 year starting quarterback, and the Knuckles kid does a really good job. Coach Luke thinks that Gilmer will get the victory. I am going to disagree. I think Northwest Whitfield gets this one. We move on to the next pick is Ringgold versus LFO. LFO's in our region. Ringgold has off to a good start, had some tough losses and some tough wins. They've just been playing a lot of close games.
Yeah, neither one of these teams are in our region now. We used to play both of them, so I'm more familiar with Ringgold than LFO. Don't really know this year. I'd say Ringgold may get the win.
Yeah, I got LFO and Lafayette mixed up in my mind. LFO no longer in our region. Ringgold comes in 3-2 on the season. They're number 10 in 2A, number 11 in a composite. LFO comes in with a 1-2 record. Ringgold's favored by 24. Coach Luke is going to go with Ringgold, and I'm going to go with Ringgold also. Next up on the list is Gordon Central hosting Coosa. Gordon Central coming in with a 2-2 record, and they're taking on Coosa, who has a 2-2 record. Gordon Central has beaten Southeast Whitfield and Josie. They racked up 99 points in those two victories. They've lost to Butler and Chattooga. Chattooga has the leading rusher in the state of Georgia, no matter what the classification is as far as yardage is concerned. Coosa has beaten Ridgeland and Southeast Whitfield. I think everybody beats Southeast Whitfield this year, except on the soccer pitch. And then they've lost to Model and Fannin County. So it's going to be an interesting matchup, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Coosa will be a team from our region, so I don't know if that's if Coosa's that strong or what, but it should be a good matchup. GC at home, maybe they can get another win.
Coach Luke is going to pick Gordon Central. I'm going to go with Coosa. I think Coosa might be just a little bit more battle-tested, but we shall see. I would love to see the silver and blue get a victory. Last on our high school list, Sonoraville versus Murray County. Sonoraville comes in with a 1-3 record. They got their first victory last week. Murray County comes in with a 1-4 record. And it's Coach Luke picks Sonoraville. I picked Sonoraville. Any thoughts on the game, Coach?
Don't know. Should be pretty good. We threw against Murray County this year. They had a couple of decent players. I think Sonoraville probably gets the win at home, but we'll see.
Yeah, exactly. That wraps up our high school portion of it. We're going to move on to the NCAA, some interesting matchups. And, of course, I'm going to lead off with my darling bride's favorite team, OSU versus Marshall. Once again,
It is not so interesting of a matchup.
No, it isn't. No.
Buckeyes big.
Yeah,
big.
Yeah, Buckeyes are going to go big. Luke's going to go big. I saw that there was an article yesterday I was reading, and it said these schools with these 3 payout games, they're just going to have to start eliminating them because it's costing them so much money, which means I don't have as much money to stick into NIL when I'm paying the team that we thumped, 70-0. Next on our list, Ole Miss versus Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern, a program steeped in success in college football.
Yeah, gonna be a tough one for the Eagles, I believe. But Trey and Cohen are both down there, so I hope they're doing well. I feel like Ole Miss probably gets the win here.
Yeah, I think Ole Miss is going to get the victory. Luke picks Ole Miss also. I got to pull up a screenshot here and see what he's been saying about some of these games that are coming up. But yeah, I think Ole Miss runs away with it. I think they're favored by 34. Well, it's 39. 35.5. I'm sorry. Next on our list is Tennessee at Oklahoma. This is a big matchup.
It should be
at Oklahoma.
It should be. I don't think it matters where they play. I think Tennessee goes on the road and gets the win.
Yes, Luke picks the Vols to get this victory. I'm going to pick the Vols to get this victory. They're favored by 6.5, and it is, as we said, at Oklahoma. Next on the list is Missouri versus Vandy. Vandy kind of laid an egg last week.
Yeah, it's. I think Vandy got a good win to open up with. I don't think they have enough here to compete with Missouri. I think Missouri's got a pretty good, pretty solid team this year, so I think the Tigers win it. Exactly.
Luke picks Missouri to win this one. I think, Missouri's got a nice defense, and I think they're going to handle it. They're favored by 21.5 points. Just a minute here. Luke sent me a message about the Vols. Something about it was going to be a good one to watch, but he thinks UT plays really tough. So we'll see how this all plays out as we watch that game. All right, next on our list is Louisville versus Georgia Tech.
Yeah, Georgia Tech's been up and down, I guess, but I look for them to get the win here. I'm pulling for those guys this year, so hopefully they can start stacking some wins together.
Luke picks Georgia Tech to win that game also. I'm going to be the lone wolf out in the woods. I'm going to pick Louisville to win this game. They're favored by 10.5. They think there's going to be about 57, 58 points total scored in this game. I really like Georgia Tech, and this was a tough decision for me.
Yeah, it should be. This would be a great win for them on the road early in the year. So hopefully they can do that.
I just like the way they play ball. Auburn versus Arkansas. Let's see. Auburn is favored by 3.5 points against Arkansas.
Yeah, well, I thought I brought a coin over here. I was going to flip a coin, but
That's where I
I'm going
was.
to go eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and it landed on the Auburn Tigers.
It landed on Auburn Tigers for Luke. I'm going to be the opposite. I'm going to go with Arkansas. Both these coaches need a victory for their team. They need their team to get them a victory. They're both in some hot water. USC at Michigan. They're at the big house on the stadium that sits below street level as you pull up to that stadium. This is going to be an interesting game. Let's see. USC is favored by 5.5. They think there's only going to be about 46 points scored in this game.
Yeah, I think after the prime time showing that Michigan had to start the season, I think they at home here they play a little bit more like they did last year, and I think they get the upset win.
How about that? Luke thinks that Michigan Big Blue is going to pull this one out, much to our son and daughter's chagrin. I'm going to go with USC. Michigan has changed quarterbacks. They've closed practices this week. They're going with the athletic young quarterback that can run as well as throw. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can implement a game plan to handle USC. USC's defense is a lot better than it has been in the past. Of course, it would be easy to be a lot better.
That's right.
Yeah. All right, Utah at Oklahoma State. Utah comes in with a 3-0 record. Utah's number 12 in the nation. Oklahoma State's number 14 in the nation. And at this moment, Utah is favored by 1.5. Cam Rising is back starting for Utah.
All right, guys. So Utah is favored. I'm still going to go with Oklahoma State at home. I think it should be a great game, but I think that the home team probably pulls this one out.
All three of us are going to go that way. We're all going to go with Oklahoma State. They think the Cowboys rope Utah and get another victory. Our last college pick, Kansas State, is at BYU. And I don't know why I put this one on here. It just fascinated me. Kansas State's favored by 6.5. They think there's going to be 47 points scored. Kansas State is ranked 13th in the nation after losing their quarterback to Ohio State.
Yeah, I scribbled out a couple of times on this one, but it's settled on Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Kansas State also. I think they'll be able to get the job done. That ends our. Luke, by the way, picks Kansas State. That ends our college selection. We're going to have 2 picks for you in the NFL, folks. Houston at Minnesota at the Vikings, home of the Vikings. The Texans taking on the Vikings.
Yeah, it should be. I guess they're both 2-0.
Yes.
C.J. Stroud is the young future superstar, according to a lot of folks. So we'll see if that pans out. But I'm going to go with the Texans.
I am going to go along with, or Luke's going to take the Vikings, and I'm going to go along with the Houston Texans. I think they get the job done. There's been a couple articles, a couple things mentioned on talk shows. Houston's had a little trouble protecting Stroud in the drop back pass situations, the obvious situations. We'll see what happens. I just think Houston and Stroud will get the job done. Our last NFL pick is going to be the Falcons versus the Chiefs. The Falcons are at home. This is a Sunday night football game.
Yeah, I'm hoping we can finish our meetings up on Sunday and get home. Time to watch a little bit of that at the end, but
I hope your meetings are ended by then too.
I'm very, very torn here. I normally don't do it, but I think the Chiefs are too good. So I think they pull out a win. Although I feel like the Falcons can gain some momentum with the last game and hopefully keep them competitive.
Boy, that was an exciting ball game. The previous game
it was, yes.
And the triple-digit $1 million quarterback looked like he earned every penny of it. And the receivers you talk about the quarterback throwing and the receivers catching the ball and getting out of bounds when they should have and getting necessary yardage. He was clean on that drive. He never got touched by that offensive line.
2-minute drill, it's just something different about it for offense and defensive side. And you think it's just normal plays, but it's not. So the offense had the advantage in that drive for sure.
I always look forward to 2-minute drills when we did them in practice way back when. It was just fun to run, and in the back of my mind I always think, can't we just do this the whole game?
Whole game, yeah.
It's interesting. Folks, we really appreciate you listening to Into Locker Room Predictions. We hope your picks are better than ours. Have a great week. We'll see you next week. You've been listening to Locker Room Predictions, brought to you by the Calhoun Touchdown Club.